Look at the precision of a modern factory floor. Whether mixing active pharmaceutical ingredients or assembling industrial pumps, this environment leaves zero room for error. A single misplaced valve or skipped safety check can trigger significant downtime or severe safety hazards. Yet, when it comes to teaching new operators how to run these complex systems, we often default to handing them a dense 300-page text manual and hoping they absorb the details. The alternative is pulling your most experienced supervisors off the floor. They spend hours of their shift repeatedly explaining the exact same machine operations to every new batch of hires. Both of these approaches introduce a high degree of human variance. We spend millions engineering physical systems for absolute mathematical precision, yet rely on training methods that often fail to match that level of consistency. When training relies purely on verbal instruction, factories fall victim to the telephone game. A veteran technician passes their understanding of a standard operating procedure to a new hire, who eventually trains the next person. Watch how quickly a pure SOP breaks down. Specifications warp and drift as the procedure is handed downstream to the night and weekend crews. Expand that drift across multiple pan-India plants, and localized decay turns into a systemic lack of standardization. Scaling manufacturing safely requires a system that locks the correct procedure in place, preventing that knowledge from decaying over time and distance. Industrial training videos serve as rigid, engineered visual assets designed specifically for operational standardization. The production lifecycle begins by treating the video like an engineering project. We sit down with operations and safety teams to map out existing text procedures and identify critical environmental, health, and safety risks. Those written procedures dictate the shot list. We perform controlled on-site visual captures of the real machines and tools in action, carefully staging the process without disrupting your live production lines. This structured workflow translates abstract theoretical rules out of a binder and into a single, unambiguous physical reality that every operator can clearly see. Visual instruction carries a psychological advantage. By showing exactly how a task is performed, you remove the cognitive load and the ambiguity that comes from trying to interpret dense written paragraphs or casual verbal instructions. Look at this 3D pump schematic. We attach step markers and explicit hazard warnings directly to moving components. A new hire with a tablet can review these modular steps on the floor, seeing exact hand motions and protective equipment needed before touching the machine. The video effectively acts as an on-demand supervisor. It accelerates the onboarding pipeline by teaching the exact correct workflow every single time, without draining time from senior staff. By offloading the burden of interpretation to a clear visual module, factories create a measurable reduction in on-the-floor mistakes and rework. Once a facility deploys a library of these visual training modules across an internal network or learning management system, the entire operational dynamic shifts. This diagram illustrates universal scale in action. A night shift worker assembling a component in Mumbai is taught the exact same standard operating procedure in the exact same way as a day shift worker in Chennai. These modules also create an unbreakable institutional memory. When experienced staff retire, their expertise remains locked in the video archive for the next generation of operators. That locked archive also serves as a permanent compliance tool. The videos provide verifiable reference materials for internal process validation and external safety audits. Industrial training videos act as a reliable form of quality control. They apply the same strict precision to the human workforce that is already required for the machinery, allowing complex operations to scale without